Have you noticed how easy it is to trust a delivery driver? And how hard it is to trust God with money? You can sit on your couch at 10 or 11 at night, open an app, tap on exactly what you want, and feel completely at peace. You do not doubt that the restaurant exists. You do not worry that they have run out of dough or cheese. You do not ask yourself if you are worthy of a hot meal. You simply choose, place the order, and relax while it makes its way to you. But when it comes to money, that calm disappears. The bill on the kitchen table is not a pizza. It is the electricity for your home, the medicine for your child, the school fee that is due next week. You open your banking app, and your throat tightens. You whisper a quick prayer. You try to affirm that you are abundant. And yet under the words, there is a familiar ache that says, what if nothing changes this time? With food, you order. With money, you beg. Tonight, I want to talk to the woman who is tired of begging. Maybe that is you. You are not a little girl anymore. You have lived enough life to know what loss feels like. You have been the strong one for years, the one who finds a way, the one who stretches a small amount to cover a big need. You have prayed in hospital corridors and supermarket parking lots. You have paid other people's debts before you even thought of your own dreams. And yet money still feels like an unpredictable storm that you must survive every month. You may have had moments where you felt almost embarrassed in front of God. You say, I know other people have it worse. I should not complain. While your heart quietly pleads, please, just let me pay everything on time and breathe for once. You listen to spiritual teachers. You repeat beautiful phrases about abundance. But the numbers on the screen refuse to move the way you want them to. A part of you wonders, is something wrong with me? Is there a reason my prayers for money seem to echo back in silence? Florence Scovel Shinn would tell you something very different. She would not scold you. She would not tell you to work harder or to pretend you do not care about money. She would put her hand on yours and remind you that life is not a lottery. It is law. She called it the game of life, and she said that game is played with words, images, and expectation. Your word is your wand. Your word is also your order form. From the moment you wake up, you are placing orders with life. When you expect the light to turn on, you are placing an order for electricity and believing it will arrive. When you expect your car to start, you are placing an order for movement and trusting it will respond. When you send a message to someone and expect an answer, you are placing an order for communication and resting in that expectation. You know how to order. You have been doing it your whole life. What no one taught you is that your fear is also an order. Every time you open a bill and think, there is never enough, you are not just describing reality. You are sending a request to your subconscious mind. Every time you say to a friend, money is always hard for me, your inner world hears that as instruction. Every time you think, people like me never get ahead, you are signing your name at the bottom of an invisible order slip and handing it to life. Florence used to say that what you send out returns to you like a boomerang. She did not mean this to frighten you. She meant it to wake you up to your power. If lack keeps coming back, it is not because you are cursed. It is because you have been trained to speak lack as if it were law. I want to tell you a story. It is not about one woman. It is about many, and it may sound very close to your own life. There is a woman standing alone in her kitchen late at night. The house is finally quiet. The dishwasher hums softly. A small stack of envelopes sits on the table beside a half-empty cup of tea. One of the envelopes is a bill that arrived earlier than she expected. She has checked the account. The numbers do not stretch far enough. She has already run through the list of people she might ask for help, and the list is very short. She leans on the counter, closes her eyes, and whispers, God, please, I am so tired of this. Please let something happen. Tears burn at the back of her eyes, not just from the amount that is due, but from the humiliation of asking again. She feels like a person standing outside a closed door, knocking and knocking, unsure if anyone is still inside. This is the moment where many of us stay stuck. We stay at the door. We stay in the posture of begging. Now imagine that in that same kitchen, on another night, she has Florence's little book open on the table. She reads the line, "Your word is your wand," and another line that says, "God is the unfailing source of your supply." And that channels are many, but the source is one. Something small but real shifts inside her. She realizes that all those years, she has been praying as if God were far away and easily annoyed, while speaking about money as if lack were the only thing she could expect. She sees it clearly. Her prayers have asked for help, but her daily words have ordered struggle. This is the turning point. She takes a slow breath, and, for the first time, she decides to speak not as a beggar, but as someone placing a lawful order with a loving source. She gently places her hand on that bill and says, "Divine supply, you are my source. This amount is not bigger than you. People and jobs are only channels. I now order perfect provision for this bill, under grace and in perfect ways. I give thanks that this order is received." The amount does not change instantly on the paper. The account does not swell with money in that second. The kitchen looks the same, but she has moved from knocking at a closed door to standing at the counter where orders are received. This is what it means to stop begging the universe for money and start ordering it in alignment with divine law. Now, does that mean she never feels afraid again? No. The old thoughts still come. Who are you kidding? This will never work for you. You always end up short. But now she understands what those thoughts really are. They are attempts to cancel the new order and send the old one back through. So each time one of those familiar fear phrases rises, she recognizes it. Instead of wrestling with it for hours, she quietly says inside, "Cancel. That is not my order anymore." Then she repeats her true word, "My supply comes from God. This bill is paid in full, under grace, and in perfect ways. I give thanks." Little by little, her inner tone changes. The tightness in her chest loosens a bit. She is still aware of the date on the calendar, but she no longer rehearses disaster in her mind all day long. She has shifted from panicked begging to calm ordering. And then something begins to happen. It does not come in a movie-style miracle. The money does not fall through the ceiling. It arrives the way supply often arrives when we are learning this new way, through ordinary channels that suddenly open. A friend messages her and asks if she can help with a short project that will bring in some extra income. She remembers an unused item in her home that she can sell. An overcharge on a previous bill is corrected and refunded. Small amounts flow from different directions and begin to add up. At the end of the week, she sits at the same kitchen table, looking at the same bill, with enough to pay it. It is not just the payment that makes her eyes fill with tears this time. It is the quiet knowing that she has just played the game of life in a new way, and the law responded. This is not a fantasy story. This is how spiritual law often begins to reveal itself in the lives of people who stop begging and start ordering. So what does this mean for you right now with the situation sitting in your own life? First, it means you can drop the idea that you are invisible. You are not a woman standing outside heaven's door, hoping the light is on. You are already inside the house. The voice that has seemed silent may simply have been answering the orders you did not realize you were placing. Second, it means you can begin to catch your words. Florence taught that you cannot entertain lack in your words and expect abundance in your affairs. This is not about policing every sentence with fear. It is about becoming a little more honest and a little more deliberate. When you hear yourself say, "Money is always hard for me," pause. Ask yourself, is that really the order I want to send? If it is not, cancel it. Speak a new word, even if your voice trembles. You might say, "Money has felt hard in the past, but I am learning to receive supply in new ways." You might say, "I am under grace, and my good comes to me at the right time." You might simply say, God is my supply, not this one situation. Each new word is a new order slip. Third, it means you practice living as if your order has been heard. Notice, I did not say pretend the situation does not exist. You still make the call you need to make. You still fill out the form. You still show up to work and handle your responsibilities. But you do these things from a different inner place. Instead of thinking, no matter what I do, it will never be enough, you think, I am doing my part and law is doing the rest. Instead of checking your account in dread, you say, my order is in. I may not see the delivery yet, but something is already moving. That quiet inner shift is where peace begins, long before the outer amount changes. And finally, it means you dare to experiment. You do not have to fix your whole financial life in one night. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. You are simply going to test this law the way Florence invited people to do in her own time. So here is your invitation. Before this day is over, choose one small financial blessing you would like to experience in the next 48 hours. Keep it small enough that your mind does not reject it, but real enough that you will recognize it when it arrives. It might be a specific small amount, a discount, a meal that is paid for, or unexpected money returning to you. Once you have chosen it, speak your order out loud. Divine supply, you are my source. I now order this good into my life, under grace and in perfect ways. I give thanks that this order is already received. Then go about your day. When fear begins to whisper the old phrases, do not panic, do not argue for hours. Simply say, cancel, that is not my order anymore. Repeat your true word once more, gently, as many times as you need. Look around you with soft, open eyes and notice what begins to unfold. It may be small, it may be subtle, but it will be something. And when it comes, no matter how simple it seems, stop and acknowledge it. Say, thank you, I see this, I receive this. In that moment, you are doing something far more powerful than just getting a bit of money. You are training your heart to trust that you are not begging at a closed window. You are ordering from a living, loving source that delights to answer faith. The next time you tap on your phone to order dinner and feel that quiet certainty that it is on its way, let it remind you of something deeper. The same calm, simple trust is available to you with money, not because life is a vending machine, but because there is a law of supply that Florence spoke of again and again. You are not asking the universe for scraps. You are not competing with other women for a limited slice. You are learning to speak as a daughter in her father's house, placing clear, clean orders with your word, and allowing them to be delivered under grace. Stop begging the universe for money. Stand up inside yourself. Speak your order with love and respect for the law that holds you. Then take your next step in peace, knowing that somewhere, in ways you cannot yet see, your provision is already being prepared and carried toward you, just as surely as any meal you have ever ordered in faith.